the White House? Oh my goodness. God said you gonna build a house. You gonna build up America. This is the house of America. Bro, without us, America won't be here. America was built off our back. These buildings is because of us. This Bible is history that came to life. Why? Because God said He was gonna put curses on His people, and it happened to us. We know that. We know that. We ain't gotta say, well, I don't know Jesus, I love Jesus, but I'm gonna have to believe. No. We know this Bible is true because we're reading curses that God said He was gonna do to our people, and we know that's true because that's our history.
Thou shalt build an house, and thou shalt not dwell therein.
Oh, who built the White House? We built the house. Who in the White House? Oh my goodness. God, this must be a true book. Read that again.
Thou shalt build an house.
God said you gonna build a house. You gonna build up America. This is the house of America. Bro, without us, America won't be here. America was built off our back. These buildings is because of us. Even to this day. Even to this day. In these construction sites. What people you see mostly in the construction sites? The Mexicans out there, ain't they? They building up damn near every building you see. Because these curses is forever. Breathe.
And thou shalt not dwell therein.
God said we're going to build these big, beautiful houses. Meaning what? These big cathedrals, the White House, the Senate House. He said, but that ain't going to be your house. That's going to be your enemy's house. Oh, you ain't know that? Oh, you didn't know that was your enemies. I got to handle myself a little bit. You thought that was your neighborhood friendly white man. God said, watch this. Read. Keep 32.
Verse 32.
Or 37.
Verse 37. And thou shall become an astonishment.
So God said, while these things are happening, we are going to become an astonishment. In slavery, we became an astonishment. Nowadays, we're astonishments. Why? Because we are the children of Israel, but guess what we're calling ourselves today? Negroes.
Right.
Niggas. Guess what's happening today? We killing each other. Why are we being oppressed? This man is oppressing us, but we hate each other. Right. Oh, that's an astonishment. That means you like, wow. Look at the conditions we're in. Look at how we treat each other. Look at the ghettos. That's an astonishment. Read.
A proverb.
Oh, what's a proverb? A proverb is a wise saying. What is a wise saying they have on our people? Meaning, if you want to hide anything from a nigga, do what? Put it in a book. Or Negroes only like what? Chicken and watermelon. These are proverbs. Why saying that God said it was going to happen? And guess what? We seen it, we walked it, we went through it, and we know it to be true. This Bible is history that came to life. Why? Because God said He was going to put curses on His people, and it happened to us. We know that. We know that. We ain't got to say, well, I don't know Jesus, I love Jesus, but I'm going to have to believe. No. We know this Bible is true because we're reading curses that God said He was going to do to our people. And we know that's true because that's our history. That's our history, right? You read it? Proverb.
A proverb and a byword.
A byword is somebody naming you something outside your God-given name.
Right.
That's a byword. So what bywords were put on us? How old are you? So, African American, do you know the year that term came out? And who it came by? The term African American.
Oh, okay.
Because you can't be older than your nationality. That term came out in 1985 by Jesse Jackson.
Wow.
1985. I know you were born before 1985. So how can a man be older than his nationality? That's impossible. Right. What would you call before African American? What they called us? Negroes, blacks. Less than that. So you know what that's called? You know what it is in the Bible? God said that's a byword. That's why we was called that so many times. Our names changed so many times out of the years because that's a curse that God put on our people. That's not happening in no other nation of people. What bywords the Chinese man go through? We've been calling him Chinese now, and we called him Chinese before then. Right. They don't have bywords on them. The Arab, they don't have bywords on them. White folk, they don't have bywords on them. But God said his people will be a byword. Meaning what? We will think that we're African American. You can't tell a Negro they ain't no African American. Or back in the day, you know what they were proud to say about Afro American. We was happy to call ourselves Afro Americans. Oh, how we a hairstyle in a land. You see that? How we are Afro Americans. Bro, we was lost as a people. These curses, we was lost. I mean, we would be called this amongst all the people we're around. Amongst all the nations. We're the ones going to be the proverb and the byword. Is that true? Are we a proverb and a byword? We're a proverb. Mean what? You want to hide anything? You want to hide anything? Put it in the book from a nigga, because they ain't going to read it. Or Negroes like chicken and watermelon. These are proverbs. You know that thing? Hey, that's a saying, bro. They used to mock us with that thing in slavery. You remember that? With more watermelons, they had the blackface cartoon with us devouring the watermelon. That's them putting proverbs on us. They mocking our people.
Ice cream song too.
Ice cream song, all that is mockery to our people. You understand that? That's that curse that God said he was going to put on our people for breaking the commandments. Give me verse 46.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 46.
We're reading our history in the Bible, huh? You understand? If you ever wonder why we went through what we went through, you're reading about it in the Bible. You've been in the church your whole life, right? Have they ever broke down this to you? Be honest.
Not really.
I mean, it's fine. Our people don't know, so they don't know. So God said He loved you enough at the age of 74, age 72, 71, to let you know the true gospel. The true gospel is that gospel mean what? Good news. The good news, you are a child of God because you're an Israelite. Because the Israelites are who? God's chosen people.
That's right.
That's the good news. So you're hearing the gospel, the true gospel, right now. You dig what I'm saying? You've never heard this before because you were never really taught the true gospel. That's just what it is. I feel you. I was the same way. But we're going to keep reading. Come on up here, sis. Read that.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 46. And
They's the curses. He said, and the curse is what?
shall be upon thee for a sign.
I'm going to put these curses on you in the last days for a sign. For a sign. What do a sign identify? It's a what? I gave it up right there. It's an identifying marker. If you want to know how to walk, you got to look at the walk sign, right? It identifies and shows where you're supposed to walk to. That's the same thing with the curses. God said in the last days, his people will be scattered to the four corners of the earth, and they will lose their identity. They'll be calling each other African Americans and Negroes. But I'm going to show them who they are because I'm going to bring them the prophets, and they're going to show them the signs, which is the curses that God put on us. So we'll know for a shadow of a doubt that we are the Israelites. Read.
And for a wonder.
He said these curses will be on us for a sign, and they wonder. Because what do we do when we see our captivity? Like, damn, why do we go through so much as black folks, man? I don't see the white man going through everything we go through. Why they hate us so much? Is it because of our skin? What did we do wrong to white folks like that for them to want to hate us so much? Think about that terror that went on in the 60s. You old enough. We was, bro, if we were caught in a rural neighborhood back in them days, what would happen, huh? It's going to be a hanging tonight. That's what happens. That's terrorism. But we look at it like, we wonder, like, why did that happen only to us? You ain't see the Chinese man hanging from trees because they was in the wrong neighborhood, huh? You didn't see the white man because the black neighborhood get hung. That ain't happen. Why that happened to us? That's a wonder. Read.
And upon thy seed forever.
God said these curses that he's going to put on his people will be on his people's seed forever. That's why this happened. He said it to these people over 2,000 years ago, but it happened in 1619. It came to fruition in 1619. The transatlantic slave trade, the sub-Saharan slave trade. That's when these curses in Deuteronomy 28 came to pass. Let's see. Can you read? Give me keep reading. 47.
Verse 47.
Let's see why.
Because.
What?
Because thou.
He's going to give us the reason why we going through these curses, right? Read.
Thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness.
God said because we don't serve him with joy. With joy. We think serving God with joy is what? In the church, clapping and saying, I love Jesus. I love, ain't he a God for God? Black folks do that. We do that. So why are we still in these conditions? Because God said we ain't serving him with joy. You know what that means? You know what it means to serve God? Watch this.
And with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things. Therefore,
serving God is keeping his commandments. To serve God, to love him, how do you love God? Hold that. How do you think it is? Because serving God is loving him, right? How can we physically show God that we love him? You know it. Let's read it out the Bible. 1 John 5 and 3. No, John 14, 15. How do you know that? Your pastor taught you that? So, did he teach you any of the commandments? Because if we want to love, you want to serve God, right? You got to know how to serve God, right? So if you don't know, it's my responsibility as a pastor to do what? Teach you the what? The commandments of God. What are some of the commandments? We're going to read this real quick. We'll get into it real quick. I don't want to go past this. Read it.
John chapter 14 and verse 50.
Because you're right. Read.
If ye love me.
God says a stipulation. He said, if you say that you love me, because he know Negroes like this talk, just talk, and don't show no action. God said what?
Keep my commandments.
He said, check this out. If you love me, keep my commandments. Keep my commandments. I'm going to give you a commandment real quick. Go back to Deuteronomy 28. So, what are we showing you? Remember when we first started talking? We showed you, go back to 28 verse 15. This is Moses talking to the Israelites. God said if we don't keep his commandment, if the Israelites didn't keep the commandments, they would be cursed in the city. How are the Israelites cursed in the city? By what? Being put in ghettos. You get what I'm saying? Being oppressed in the city. Who is those people? That's us. That's the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We're the ones oppressed in the city. We found out of being oppressed in the field. Who oppressed in the field like us? So he said these curses will be on the Israelites for a sign. So if we got that sign on us, what did that sign entail? It says that we're what? Do you feel like you're cursed? You don't feel like you're cursed? All right. So what's your last name? Bailey. What do we get? What do you get that last name Bailey from?
You know?
From who? Who did they get it from? And who did they get it from? Isaiah 65. And what eventually all the way back to here. Where did they get it from? You remember we talked about Kunta, right? What happened with Kunta? Okay, when they beat him, what they were trying to get Kunta to say? To what? Toby. What Kunta said? Kunta said, my name is Kunta. But they beat him until he changed his name to what? Toby. That's what happened to us in slavery. They changed our names to the names of their names. Because guess what? When we try to run away or we had to go somewhere, they're like, well, who you belong to? I'm from the house of Johnson. From the Johnson plantation. That's how we got our last names. What? By the plantations our people came from.
What is nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation